Dear viewers, welcome to a new episode of Diet Myths. Today, we chose to talk about a topic that is rather unusual because I'm talking about aloe vera. Probably women would know how useful aloe vera is. It has been extensively used in cosmetic products, in food industry, and in pharmaceutical preparations. It accounts for $13 billion global industry, yearly industry. So it's used extensively in many ways. So that's why I would say it's a bit strange because we'll be talking about these effects, but as well we'll talk about dietary effects of aloe vera, medicinal or non-medicinal, and we'll get to know whether it's good for you or not. For those who do not know what aloe vera is, it's a kind of cactus. It has thick, short stems, or they can be long, but they're characterized by being thick, dark green and sharp from the edges, but full of a gel-like material from the inside. And the real beneficial effect comes from this gel-like substance that is stored intact in the aloe vera leaf. So it can be used by just cutting the leaf and oozing out the gel-like product, and then you can get to know the health benefits or the other benefits that may be sometimes controversial. One of the good things, it has a lot of bioactive antioxidants, so it's very good for killing the harmful microorganisms that may develop on our skin or elsewhere in the body. So it has this antioxidant property. But what it's also good is it's excellent for burn wounds, not any wound in general, but burn wounds. Aloe vera works exactly like any other medicine you use. If you apply it to a first or second degree burn, for 9 days, it would really help remove any effect of the wound. It will reduce, alleviate the sting you get, and it will help you restore your skin as soon as possible with just using a natural product. It also helps in many other ways when it comes to skin infections. It does help reduce skin infections. For women and men, but more studied with women over 45 years old. It's excellent in really reproduction of collagen, so it's good. It's good for the elasticity of the skin, the smoothness of the skin, and for the hair. Please stay tuned and you'll get to know more about aloe vera. Dear viewers, welcome to the second segment of our episode Diet Myths, and we're talking about aloe vera, this cactus plant that is full of very beneficial gel-like material that can be used at multiple levels for different ways of using and can be helpful. We've talked about aloe vera and burns, but there's another very useful use for aloe vera, which is 100% aloe vera juice. It's used as a mouthwash, and it's excellent in really protecting your oral health, your gum disease, or any tooth decays that can come from bacteria that grow in the mouth. So if you rinse with aloe vera for 15 to 30 days, it works as good as any medicinal mouthwash, and it really eliminates the bacteria that forms the plaque that is really harmful to your oral health. Another good use of aloe vera would be the patches of the gel itself. It can be used in an ointment form or in a gel form when you get mouth ulcers. A lot of people get mouth ulcers for different reasons. These are the ulcers that come under your lip or anywhere in the mouth. They're really painful and they stay for around 9 days, and they're big in size. They will really take away from enjoying food or drink. So aloe vera can really work well. It reduces the size of these ulcers. It reduces the pain from it, gives a kind of numbness. Maybe it has a natural soothing effect where you won't feel the numbness, and it's smaller in size, and in 9 days it will disappear. It may not outperform the traditional medicines and the corticosteroid medication, but again, if you are looking for a natural remedy and available remedy, then you can use the aloe vera for that reason. Please stay tuned to know more about aloe vera shortly. Dear viewers, welcome to the third part of our episode today, Diet Myths, and we're talking about the plant aloe vera. Now we'll talk about dietary consumption of aloe vera and whether it's useful or harmful. Well, aloe vera, and this time for a change, it's not the gel that is embedded in the leaf itself, but rather the yellowish material just under the skin, which is called latex, is very potent and powerful in stopping constipation. So if you don't want to take medication and you're constipated, this part can be consumed, and it's very good in alleviating any constipation that people can suffer from. This can be taken from the natural plant or can be taken in a supplement form that is sold, but it's not sold over the counter, because I want to draw your attention that you should check with your doctor before having it, because aloe vera is strong and may cause some liver damage. If you have a problem, then you should avoid having the aloe vera for constipation or for any oral indication, and check with your physician. The topical use for the skin, for the hair is fine, even if you have a liver problem. But if you're gonna consume it as food, and if you're going to have it to really remedy a constipation you're suffering from, you have to check with your physician. You would wonder why we're talking about aloe vera at the SMAN Diabetes Institute. Well, traditionally, the traditional medicine uses aloe vera to reduce type 2 diabetes. It's meant to increase the insulin sensitivity, so it's good to make better use of the insulin your body excretes, and this is really a traditional medicine in Eastern societies. Whether it's true or not, we cannot verify at this point of time because there hasn't been enough studies or well-designed studies that look into this matter. But since there are thousands of years of use for this reason, I think my intuition says yes, it works, but we need to study it to make sure of knowing the pathway it operates through. So you can have aloe vera to help your diabetes. Do not replace your medicine by aloe vera. You can have it in association if you believe that it will work for you, and you have to always remember to monitor your blood glucose or your blood sugar so you can see if it works potently. You may go or undergo a hypo attack or low blood sugar, so you have to make sure that you always observe if you add a traditional medicine to your classical conventional medicine prescribed by your physician. But yes, you can use it in moderation. So to sum up, aloe vera would help your skin, will help your oral health, will help your hair, will help in burns and help your diabetes, as well as help constipation. If I were you, I would buy a plant or grow a plant and use it at home because it serves many, many purposes. Thank you for being with us and hope to see you in another episode.
Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to our show, Diet Myths. Now, many of us have had many problems with our digestive health or our colon, for example. So we know that there are a great number of people here in Kuwait suffer from irritable bowel syndrome, or they have constant bloating or upset stomach, and sometimes their immune system is even low. So anytime they have certain foods, they are very easily prone to food poisoning. And the two types of bacteria that really help with this are the pre and the probiotics. So today I'll be talking to you about the pre and the probiotics, their health benefits, what foods we can find them in, and whether or not you actually might need supplementation for some of them.
In most cases, the organisms in our food get mashed around in the mouth, then hit the roller coaster that takes them rapidly into our stomach. The stomach is not a particularly inviting place. Acid is produced in large quantities when we eat. This helps to protect our body and to break down food, and it kills many bacteria that we ingest, including many of the milk fermenters present in dairy products. However, some bacteria, such as these probiotic lactobacilli and bifidobacteria, can survive the acid by having a protective shield, shown here as a halo. This protection can be provided by milk and food, or by leaving the stomach rapidly with the liquid part of the meal. More than half of the world's population, and especially people in Asia, have a bacterium called Helicobacter pylori living in their stomach. Some strains of this bacterium are pathogenic. They're acquired from several sources, including contaminated water. This bacterium can burrow into the walls of the tissue and produce urease and toxin that damages cells, causing painful ulcers and sometimes cancer. Antibiotic treatment can cure some cases of Helicobacter colonization, but in others, the bacteria either resist the killing or return again once the treatment is over. Probiotic bacteria may help in the reduction of these Helicobacter, perhaps by attacking them with antibiotic-like weaponry called bacteriocins or dislodging them. However, more research is needed to understand this process, while clinical trials will help determine which patients may benefit from ingesting certain types of probiotic bacteria. The dead organisms, along with the probiotic bacteria and surviving fermenter microbes, move towards the intestine, where they come into contact with bile salts, which kill many of the milk fermenter microbes. Many probiotic bacteria can resist these harmful effects, and so they survive and continue their journey. The next stage takes the bacteria down through tissue tunnels into the small intestine. This region of the body is usually over 30 feet or 9 meters in length. It has structures called villi and microvilli, which absorb nutrients from food and form a major defense against disease. The small intestine is home to billions of bacteria, the microbiota, including bifidobacteria and lactobacilli, which play a critical role in keeping us healthy through degrading food, counteracting bad bacteria, and modulating the immune response. Many questions need to be studied, such as what types of bacteria live here, how they communicate with each other and influence the way we feel, as well as whether probiotics can prevent or alleviate certain diseases.
So let's look at both pre and pro and look at what they actually mean. So the probiotic is the bacteria that actually makes our gut very happy. It eases with digestion, it helps our gut break down food and makes us all very happy inside. So you have reduced bloating, you have reduced cramps and gases, and everything just functions. And like you've heard probably many times, we have the good bacteria and the bad bacteria in our gut. So the probiotics, these are the good bacteria that we want to increase. The prebiotics are actually the food that the bacteria or the probiotic live on. So for probiotics to continue multiplying in size and in numbers, they actually need to be taking in some prebiotics. Now, prebiotics are very commonly found in many foods, and we'll be talking about that later on. But unless you have sufficient number of probiotics, prebiotics don't actually do us any good. Now, the idea of prebiotics is that they're found mostly in carbohydrates, and that's because carbohydrates contain fiber. And now the fiber in those special types of foods is not digested, so our system does not know how to break it down and finds it very difficult to break down these fibers. So the bacteria in return go ahead and break down this fiber themselves or have it as food themselves. Now, of course, you're probably thinking, can I get the pre and the probiotics from food? Yes, you can get both of them from food. There are many different types of food. Please stay tuned. We're going to talk about them next. Welcome back, our dear viewers. So let's take a look at the prebiotics and where you can get them from food. Now, like I said previously, prebiotics are actually found in abundance in terms of food. So you can actually get them from beans and legumes. So things like lentils and broad beans and chickpeas, they all contain a decent amount of prebiotics and of course the fiber that our bodies can't digest. Oats are the same thing, and so are things like artichokes and perhaps other types of beans and fruit. So like I said, they're easily found in many different types of food. You don't really need to work hard to get in prebiotics. As long as you're consuming foods that are high in fiber, so things like high fiber cereals and oats, many different grains, you can be assured that you're getting plenty of prebiotics. But when it comes to probiotics, it might be a bit difficult. Now, these bacteria are very sensitive to heat, and they are usually found in a lot of dairy products, and not any type of dairy products, but fermented dairy products. And of course, the first one that comes to mind is yogurt. Now, the issue with yogurt is due to many market regulations, you can't sell any yogurt or other dairy product unless you pasteurize it. Now, the process of pasteurizing requires you to boil or to heat that substance to a very high heat. Therefore, you're killing all the bacteria, the good and the bad. Therefore, with yogurts, you don't really tend to get all the amounts of probiotics you want, unless your yogurt actually is labeled BioLive or actually contains some form of added probiotic.
Top 10 foods with the highest amounts of probiotics. Stick around, you won't want to miss it. Probiotics are good bacteria which play a very important role in our digestive, metabolic, and immune systems. Therefore, eating probiotic-rich foods will help you towards leading a healthier life. Okay, let's start it. Number 1, yogurt. Maybe the best known for its probiotic benefits. Make sure you look for yogurts made with all natural ingredients. Second comes miso soup. It's a traditional Japanese first course, made using miso, which is fermented soybean paste. At number 3 comes kefir. Although it's similar to yogurt, kefir has the advantage of being 99% lactose-free. Number 4, sauerkraut. Made from fermented cabbage, it's extremely rich in healthy live cultures. Whole grain breads and sourdough bread take the number 5 spot. The San Francisco famous bread loaf contains tons of probiotics that may aid digestion. Number 6, pickles. Believe it, the common green pickle is an excellent food source of probiotics. Next, number 7, soft cheese. Research has found lactobacillus strains in some of fermented soft cheeses, such as Gouda. Number 8, tempeh. Made from soy protein, tempeh is a versatile meat substitute that's full of vitamin B12 and probiotics. In 9th place comes kimchi, a popular Korean side dish. Kimchi is fermented and pickled cabbage that can be pretty spicy. Filled with vitamins, calcium, and probiotics, it's a delicious way to stay healthy. At last, number 10, dark chocolate. Probiotics may be present in high-quality dark chocolate, sometimes up to 4 times more than in other dairy products.
Now, you need to make sure when you're getting a type of yogurt that markets itself as a yogurt that has probiotics in it, for them to name the strand of bacteria or probiotic available in it. Other fermented drinks, like for example vinegar. In Asia, they use a lot of kimchi, other things like pickles. Because they are fermented, this good bacteria increases in them. But then again, you need to make sure that it hasn't been, put in high heat, because that's when the bacteria dies. So you really need to make sure that if it has been pasteurized or if it has been exposed to high heat, that they went ahead and re-added the good bacteria in it. And like I said, they should actually name the strand of bacteria if they are marketing it as a probiotic food. Now, of course, we can get the probiotic from supplements, so please stay tuned because we're going to talk about them next. Welcome back, our dear viewers. So taking a look at supplements, yes, probiotics are available in abundance when it comes to supplements, but you really need to be careful about what supplement you're looking to pick up the shelf. First of all, you need to be getting these supplements as a referral from a healthcare provider, just to make sure. And don't forget that probiotics are, like I said previously, types of bacteria, but they're not all the same. So there are different types of probiotics that help with different things. There are some probiotics that could help you with a problem like diarrhea, while others could actually help ease something like constipation. For people that have continuous gas or bloating, they can actually take a different type of probiotics. So each type of bacteria is responsible for something else. And this is where your healthcare provider can help lead you to the type of bacteria you need. Therefore, when you're buying a probiotic supplement, don't buy one that just says probiotics. Make sure it labels what type of bacterial strand it has, how many units of that bacteria each capsule contains, as well as the expiry date or refrigeration requirement if needed. So some bacteria thrive more in colder environments, therefore the capsule needs to be refrigerated. If a bottle does not need to be refrigerated, that doesn't mean that it's any less powerful or not as good as the refrigerated one. It just differs from one type of bacteria to another. Again, if you are someone that is used to eating a lot of fermented foods, if you have the ability of making something like yogurt or leban at home, then you are getting a decent amount of probiotics. Pickling food is another great way of getting your probiotics if you're not into supplements. But please do keep in mind that we could counter the effects of probiotics if we are not eating an overall healthy diet. So foods that are high in sugar, high in fats and acids could actually kill any probiotics we are ingesting. So you will be outdoing all the good and the benefit you're putting in you by adding in a lot of sugar. So when you're picking out a yogurt, even if it is labeled with probiotics, make sure it doesn't have any added sugar to it. Make sure it doesn't have any added colorings. Of course, if you are able to get your probiotic sources from organic sources, and that even goes to supplements, so if supplements can get them from organic sources, then you're better off of ensuring you're getting a decent and safe amount of probiotics. So we really hope you enjoyed today's episode and you benefited from it, and we'll see you all next time.